Sorry. Right. Hi, I'm Emma. I'm a teacher with a geography and environmental background. I'm also the mum of two small children. I have a 4-year-old and I have a 2-year-old at home. Recently, well, on Monday in fact, my little boy started school for the first time. Rather big milestone. My husband and I were very proud. We've managed to keep him alive for 4 years. We're very proud of that. We've managed to keep him safe, we've managed to feed him, clothe him, keep him off the roads, keep his fingers out of the plugs and all the rest of it. So we're feeling an immense sense of achievement that we've managed to do that. However, just recently, that's all very well. Society dictates we look after our children, which of course we all do. But recently, the last few months, the last year or so, I've always been into the environment. I've always been concerned about the environment. But recently, I am becoming increasingly concerned. And I think there's a huge, massive threat actually threatening our children. And that's why I've become involved with Extinction Rebellion. So tonight, I've sort of talked about it before. I've sort of stood up and talked before about my concerns for my children and grandchildren. So tonight I thought, right, okay, so my little boy, he's 4, he was born in May 2015. And I thought, I'm just going to do a little bit of research on the internet and just sort of look at some projections. I've tried to cross-reference. It's very hard out there. Projections are different directions. You're never sure what you're coming across, and it's very hard to actually research how sort of accurate everything is, and nobody knows how accurate everything is. But I found some bits on this, so I thought I'd just share with you tonight, going through the timeline of his life, basically. And if things continue as they are and things don't radically get better, if we continue on this trajectory, what might happen to my little boy in his lifetime if things don't change? So, as I said, my son was born in May 2015. At this point, some projections reckon that the temperature had already risen by 0.6 degrees beyond sort of before the Industrial Revolution, which is fairly significant, but it's sort of been steadily rising, which is a concern. However, I sort of started to look a little bit further. Our son will be 10 in 2025. At this point, some predictions suggest that the temperature will have risen by about 0.8 degrees by then. He'll be 18 in 2033, by which time it'll have reached a 1 degree rise. And 30 in 2045, 1.5 degree rise, which is kind of the threshold that everyone is in very much agreement. We cannot break this threshold. We go above this threshold, things start to go very wrong in our world in terms of ecosystems, in terms of food security, in terms of sea level rise. It starts to get into a very, very scary place. He will be 50 in 2065, by which point some modest predictions are saying about a 2.1 degree rise. And the last time the Earth had an average temperature at this level was 11,000 years ago. The world will be drier. It will impact directly on many ecosystems. Many species will be extinct by then, and crop production will be severely impaired. Food security will be getting to a very scary place by then. Droughts and wildfires will become commonplace. Low-lying islands and coastal areas will have disappeared due to wide-scale ice melt. Whole nations will have been lost by now. The health of the whole world will be under threat. Things like mosquitoes will have spread further, sort of air pollution, all sorts of things will be impacting. Higher temperatures obviously having a huge impact on people's health. Our son will be 80 in 2095. 3.5 degrees, and that's modest. That is a modest prediction that will be 3.5 degrees. And some people think it could be higher, it could be sort of 4 degrees or so. This could lead to substantial species extinction, large risks to global and regional food security, and an inability to work outside and live in some areas of the world. It's quite scary. And if he lives to 100, which some people may, depending on our situation of our world, he'll be 100 in 2115. As you can imagine, that's quite emotional, thinking about that, and it's quite a scary thought that my little boy, who has gone off to school, skipping off to school, all innocent and wonderful, may be facing all of these things in his lifetime. So, as I said, this is why I've joined Extinction Rebellion. It's why I feel it is so important. And I'm just here tonight to say to all of you, people who've got children, nieces, nephews, grandchildren, great-grandchildren. We need you on board. We all need to be doing something. There are two different things. Everybody needs to either be doing things in their own personal life, but we also need to be targeting the big things. We need to be targeting government, we need to be targeting the big companies, and we also need to be making changes in our own life, because if we don't, this is what our children will be facing. Thank you for listening.